And welcome to As the Reel Turns, your place for all things movie and television, and we have got another fantastic show for you. But before we go anywhere, let's do our entertainment update. Take it away.
This is Dylan Tavishan for your entertainment update. Today includes a death, an upcoming film, and some wonderful singing. Whether you love him or hate him, the entertainment world lost Paul Reubens. Reubens was best known for his character of Pee Wee Herman, whom he played on Pee Wee's Playhouse and in 3 films. He also appeared in other films and shows, such as The Penguin's father in Batman Returns. Reubens fought allegations and cancer until his death at the age of 70. He will be missed. Does anyone else spot a murder? Kenneth Branagh is back for the 3rd time as brilliant detective Hercule Poirot. This film, A Haunting in Venice, will show the Belgian detective take a more horrific route. Ghosts, hauntings, horror? I like it. That style sounds very familiar. Along with comedian Tina Fey, an Oscar winner, and Bond girl Michelle Yeoh, we will all use our little gray cells to solve the mystery this September. Non evapora.
You have been hiding here all this time.
Who are you talking to?
And finally, with 57 years under its belt, and between Shatner acting like a horse, crew members playing hopscotch in Deep Space Nine, and whatever stuff they were doing in Enterprise, Star Trek boldly went where it hasn't gone before. One episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds had viewers watch a musical episode. Shows have done this for years, but none have encountered a planet that made the characters burst into song to communicate. Well, all I can say is, they tried something different. Hey, their goal is to seek out new worlds and new life. So, sing along if you want. And now for some recommendations. Get ready to go ghost or sign up now to see dinosaurs. Walk through walls, disappear and fly, and be much more unique than the other guys with Danny Phantom. Or you could get chased by a T-Rex in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Your call. Highly suggest these shows, spared no expense. This has been Dylan Tavishan for your entertainment update. Back to you, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Dylan, for doing our entertainment update. Always good for him to do one of those lovely voiceovers. Yes, hey, love him or hate him, we're going to miss Paul Reubens. Hey, good to see Hercule Poirot back in the saddle. Bit creepy this time. Who knows what's going to happen there? And yeah, never thought I'd see Star Trek jump the shark, but music episode, guys? Really? Really? I don't know about that. Anyway, we've got another great show for you today, and it is something that is famous, but, is kind of a shorter franchise here. and it has it makes you think about going into the water twice. Prepare to jump into the jaws of Jaws. Yes, Jaws. Like I said, small franchise that scared the living daylights out of people for a couple years and then made people laugh the last couple years. And we've got two awesome people to talk about it with. We've got my friend Vince, and we got the person you just heard in the update, my friend Dylan. Welcome, guys.
Hey, great to be on.
Thank you.
My pleasure for having you guys here. So let's jump right into Jaws here. The first thing that I want to say is that this is one of those things that I didn't know, that it was originally a book. Jaws was a book, and the years went on, and a young director came around. A young director hot off a movie called Duel, and then I believe also first Close Encounters came first as well, I think.
Potentially.
Okay. No. This is 75. I'm sorry. Yes. So. A young director off the heels of a TV movie called Duel by the name of Stefan Spielberg. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Steven Spielberg, sorry.
That's a different unknown director.
Different director. We're still waiting on him, yeah. So Steven Spielberg came around and he obtained the book here and talked to Universal Pictures and said this could be a great movie. Thus, in 1975, we got the first movie, Jaws.
Alive today.
So yes,
Who has survived
Jaws.
millions of years of
It
evolution.
makes people think about going into the water. Now, the question is, what is Jaws about?
passion.
Jaws is about a
without logic.
murderous great white shark who kind of haunts the beaches and waters of Amity Island,
Eating
a very Martha's Vineyard type of
Will
place.
attack,
And
devour.
we meet these three characters
Is as if
by the names of Roy Schneider, Robert Shaw,
gave him
and Richard Dreyfuss, and they all go together to hunt this shark, who is never said, but is affectionately known as Jaws. So as we watch the trailer here, we see some very famous scenes. You know, the famous scene of seeing the girl's legs in the water. We're meeting the characters here on Amity Island. As we watch the trailer here, Vince, we'll start with you. What do we think of Jaws?
Well, I love Jaws. It's one of those like essential summer movies that I've watched it like probably a million times since I was a kid. Watched it with the family, watched it with my dad, kind of thing. It laid the groundwork for years to come, decades later for summer blockbusters.
Yeah, and Dylan, I mean, well, you both are horror nuts, but this is a big scary movie. What do you think about it?
Well, I love Jaws. It's classics, one of my favorite movies of all time. And I want to say, when you think of killer shark movie, this is it.
It is.
And the influence this movie has had on culture, real life, other movies, rip-offs, parodies. It cannot be listed. Just what it's done for cinema. And also it's the first blockbuster and started Steven Spielberg's career, so.
That's right.
And it's a classic to watch on the 4th of July. It's a classic theme. It's a classic, that's all I can say.
That's the big word, is definitely classic. Yeah, and this is one of the, there's the famous line, you're gonna need a bigger boat. This is one of those movies where it's famous for having these three cast members, not only in the story do they really not like each other, but in the shoot they didn't like each other either. They had disagreements and stuff like that. This is nothing new, but do you think the on-set disagreements showed between these cast members, or do you think they were, they're actors?
I mean, if anything, even if it kind of showed through a little bit, it kind of, their characters, I think they grew to like each other, as the movie went on. But I mean, maybe it helps, with the believability of that.
Sure. And one of the classic things here, and even in the trailer, because they don't want you to know it in the trailer, they're not showing the shark. And now the shark is, well, of course, in the poster here, of course. Well, that's different. But the shark is a very famous character in the movie, too. I mean, because not only is he like the main character, sort of, but he was famous for being a troublesome thing on set. The shark, of course, was affectionately known to Steven Spielberg as Bruce, which was his lawyer, I believe, at the time. And this is where, of course, we get the famous line from Finding Nemo.
Hello, name's Bruce.
But
Fish are friends.
it's not food.
Here's Brucey.
Not food. I never knew my father.
So, well, you know, but it's actually like a mechanical marvel, really, because, you know, the joke became the shark looks kind of fake, but they made where you don't see the shark. The majority of the movie is making the illusion of the shark. You know, we saw a bit in the trailer there. There are some barrels that get pulled around. That's supposed to be like, you know, Jaws is hauling the barrels around.
There it is. What do you say, Chief? The barrel is up. It's right in the stern.
He's torn out at the knuckles. Old Seaman's home's full of them. Hey, boy, give it to me a minute.
Oh, boys. I think he's come back for his noon feeding.
Hook me up another barrel.
Scenes where we see his point of view, like with the legs from the girl, and
Folks, we had some practical jokers out there with the fake fin. It's just a trick.
Shark!
That was a fake fin.
Shark!
Hey, you guys okay over there?
In the fire!
He's dead.
No, he's not. He's in shock.
so on and so forth. And do you think that is a good money saver or just good cinematography?
I say good cinematography because I mean, it's the shark under the water.
Yep.
It's not like you can see. That also, again, goes to the production problems because the shark kept malfunctioning.
Yep.
But it also led to really good acting. The first time that Brody sees the shark when he's chumming, that was the first time he actually saw the shark.
Oh, okay.
That Roy Scheider
Roy
saw.
Scheider, yeah.
And his look of fear was like, oh my God, that's what it looks like.
Slow ahead. Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chum some.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
That's a 20-footer.
25.
I think it worked out. It's a case of things going wrong ended up for the better.
Yeah, it's a little bit kind of like the first Alien movie where, we didn't see the alien.
Yeah, and then it's the same thing with the not showing the actors what it looked like, but nobody in that scene except obviously, it's going to burst out of his chest. Nobody knew that was going to happen. So it's all genuine shocks, like genuine fear.
Yeah.
And it works.
And somebody told me, now this is early to mid 70s, and we haven't had Temple of Doom and Gremlins yet, so the rating system was still a little bit different. But somebody told me that this movie was rated R. I said, there's no swearing in it except for like the regular stuff, no F-bombs or anything. But,
I haven't heard that.
But violence, maybe?
I never really questioned it. I kind of always saw that it was just it's not like a family movie, but it's definitely okay to show teenagers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's it's got a little bit of gore, but not until really the end.
And it's just I guess a sign of standards and morality changes. Like PG, that's what it was.
Sure.
So
yeah. They got away with a lot before the new rating system.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
So yeah, I've never heard that story that was R.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is because of the violence and the blood and stuff like that. And then I think a few of the characters, especially in the beginning scene with the girl, they're going skinny dipping. So I don't know if you see anything, maybe nudity, but
Yeah,
very
do.
slight.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
But it's not in a sexual way.
No,
so
it's just you're at the beach.
Yeah.
Actually, and to go back to what you were saying about the actors, they did offset. It was Robert Shaw that was causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
A little bit of alcohol.
There's that.
Hey, Bond.
Bond, that's right. Yeah, Bond from Russia with Love. Yeah.
Red Grant.
Red Grant. Yeah, and that scene where they're all singing together on the boat. What was actually in those bottles they were drinking? Let's be honest.
It probably wasn't just method acting.
No, probably
probably a little
not.
something.
You want a drink? Drink to your leg?
I'll drink to your leg.
Okay, so we drink our legs.
I got the creme de la creme. Right here. Hold on. Hey, see that?
You're wearing a sweater.
Right there. Mary Ellen Moffat. She broke my heart.
What's that one?
What?
That one there, on your arm.
Oh, well, it's a tattoo. I got that removed.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Mother. What is it?
Stupa, that's the USS Indianapolis.
But I have a copy of the DVD here, and I'm looking at it, and I, at first glance, can't see any rating on here. So I don't know. Oh no, here we go. They say PG. So I don't know.
PG.
Go figure. But
Nowadays, I think would be a PG-13.
Yeah, because that would have been my guess. Like, because you never really think about it. Because usually the first time you've seen it is probably on TV or something. So they cut stuff out anyway. But
and who cares?
I would have guessed PG-13. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's a good movie.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Absolutely.
I don't care if it was rated X, rated NC-17 or whatever. It's a great movie.
And, it's also a good movie because of that music. I mean, John Williams, the famous score. Score.
John Williams, there he is.
The second you hear that, you know exactly what you're in for.
Of course you do,
I always wanted to be in business with John Williams all my life. And when he said yes to Sugarland, we became friends, and obviously I wanted him to do every picture I ever made, and Jaws came second. When he finally played the music for me on the piano, he previewed the main Jaws theme. I expected to hear something kind of weird and melodic, you know, and tonal but eerie and of another world, almost a bit like outer space, inside, you know, inner space, under the water. And what he played me instead with 2 fingers on the lower keys was dun, 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 dun. And at first I began to laugh. I thought he had a great sense of humor. He was putting me on. And he said, no, that's the theme to Jaws. And I said, play it again. He played it again, and he played it again, and it suddenly seemed right. And John found a signature for the entire movie.
If you are the person out there who hasn't seen Jaws, I mean, go do yourself a favor. Go watch Jaws. I mean, it is exactly the definition of a summer blockbuster. It's adventurous, it's scary, it's funny, it has a little bit of heartwarming in it, and you know, there's still one thing that you can always pull out of this movie. That's one bad hat, Harry.
We know all about you, Chief. You don't go in the water at all, do you?
Some bad hat, Harry.
That's some bad hat, Harry.
Nothing? Okay, fine. All right. You know that scene where he's... Yeah. All right. Anyway, with any blockbuster, it becomes popular. Many people, you know, took the advice of the trailers and marketing to heart. People were afraid to go in the water.
It gave you know, sharks a bad name for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And Peter Benchley regretted writing the novel and dedicated the rest of his life to ocean conservation.
Did he really?
Saving sharks. Because sharks, you know, yeah, you hear about shark attacks, but they don't
They're
act
more
this
so
way.
afraid of us than the, you know, other way around.
It's no joke. Shark attacks are kind of a big thing recently in the last couple of years. They've been getting bigger and bigger.
A lot of it's like environmental changes and stuff. They're not just violent for the sake of being violent. It's, you know, usually a reason why they're acting strange.
Yeah. But regardless, I mean, you know, people like the movie. And so with any blockbuster, there'd be the idea of a sequel. And we did get a sequel in the form of Jaws 2. Props. So Jaws 2. So first of all, this is one of those movies where, let me first ask this question. Was a sequel necessary?
Necessary? Not entirely. I mean, I think it definitely works as a standalone movie. I mean, it survived, you know, the test of time all these years. People still love it.
Right.
But no, with any movie, like you said, that gets popular, people are going to have a hunger for another one.
Yeah, I mean, here's what we dive...
Bloodlust with the shark.
Yeah.
Here's what we dive into.
Oh, God.
So the idea is that these 2 divers find the wreckage of the Orca, which is Robert Shaw's boat. And they are attacked by another great white shark. Now, first of all, I want to say that it is not the same shark as in Jaws 1, because thank you, Chief Brody, we blew that shark up.
Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, smile.
Smile, you son of a...
Yeah, exactly. And so things are going pretty well here on Amity Island. You know, no fear of sharks anymore. And all seems well, except, like I said, here comes another shark. There's the tail.
Makes me think. Makes me think in universe how many years it's been since the last set of attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
That people aren't like afraid anymore, and they're just like, yeah, let's go back in.
But that's basically the movie. I mean, it's just a rehash of the first one, sort of. You know, new stupid teenagers, new shark, same chief.
I think it gets a little bit more personal with it's more of Roy Schneider's character, yeah. it gets a little bit more personal, and it starts like putting his family in harm's way.
Yeah, him, Schneider, and Lorraine Gary there are the only people to return for this movie. Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw are not in the picture anymore.
Robert Shaw, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. But the same mayor is there too, I believe. Yeah.
Murray Hamilton.
Yeah, that's it. But it's a little darker, but I don't know. It's kind of the same. I mean, this is the one movie in this franchise here. I mean, disregarding the first one, where it's like, this is the acceptable sequel. Is it a good sequel? And like I said when we first started this part, was it necessary?
I will say it is the best of the sequels.
Of course.
I don't think it was necessary, but I will agree with Vince here. As a standalone, it works, but they already did everything in the first movie, and again, it's another shark. People are still going in the water, and again, like, no one believes. So, like, wouldn't you be jumping into action this time? Like, listening to Brody?
It is strange how it's like they completely ignore everything that happened. It's like, yeah, no, we're safe to go. No worry at all. Weariness.
I mean, this does not look safe. I mean, I recently had rewatched, specifically Jaws 2, and there are more explosions, more scariness, especially with the teenagers here. Brody is kind of haunted by the past from the last shark, sort of, and he gets to blow this one up too.
See, that's what it was different from the first one. They added PTSD.
Yes, that was PTSD. It was basically PTSD. But
well, yeah, basically.
I also want to say that this and other ones to follow are not directed by Spielberg, and like you said, Dylan, that Benchley did not write any more stories, so this is completely original. What do we think of having this original story and having no Spielberg at all?
I don't think it works, because I mean, you need the original crew.
Yeah.
And I think it's just tough to. In this case, it's just tough to just do the same thing again.
Yeah.
They kind of just copped out, and Spielberg was busy with Close Encounters.
Yeah.
And so was Dreyfuss.
Yep.
So, and this movie again was marred by production problems. Scheider didn't get along with the director. He didn't want to be in it, but contractually obligated.
Mm-hmm.
So
kind of have to.
I heard there was even a fist fight on set between
that's lovely.
between Scheider and the director, because the director wanted to do this. Scheider didn't really want to be there.
Yeah.
Basically saying, I miss Spielberg. So.
Yeah.
You started a panic on a public beach. You shot up the damn place. God knows who you could have injured. Now, what if somebody decides to sue us? Did you ever stop to think about that? It could ruin us.
You don't have to worry about being sued or being ruined. If this turns out to be what I think it is, because there won't be anybody here.
Yeah, now, Martin, let's not,
Let's not what, Larry? What?
Oh, Jesus, Larry, huh? Come on, let's just forget it. He won't listen. It's obvious the man has made up his mind.
You bet your life I've made up my mind. But I'm telling you, and I'm telling everybody at this table, that that's a shark. And I know what a shark looks like because I've seen one up close. And you better do something about this one, because I don't intend to go through that hell again.
I mean, yeah, no, I think it works as a sequel. I mean, it's not terrible by any means. It's maybe a little bit of a more watered down version than the first, but I think, the, media, everybody wants one more, and I think it was an okay way to give it. Could be better, could be worse.
It's not a bad movie.
No.
By no means,
And it does have one of the best taglines. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
That's a great tagline.
Speaking of parodies, there's all the parodies and rip-offs and all that of Jaws, but then there's the parodies of that tagline.
Yeah.
Like, I think one movie said, this summer it is safe to go back in the water.
Yes.
Another one I read was, it's still not safe to go back in the water. So,
I love it. That's beautiful. But no, I mean, I do like that Williams stayed on board at least to do some more Jaws music, so that's always wonderful. And at least Schneider and Lorraine Gary are there, to hold the glue that this is the same universe. These are still the same characters. Here's another fun shark movie for you.
Sure they did.
And even if he didn't do any other Jaws after Jaws 2, I still think it's kind of funny that he still is in the marine world because he had that show Sequest. So that kind of makes me laugh.
A little bit of typecasting.
A little bit of typecasting there. But, and I also, this is kind of cool. I found out, Jaws 2 was the first sequel to use not a Roman numeral 2, but like an actual 2. So in the thing there we saw in the trailer, Jaws 2. So that's
one of
cool.
the things you just, you don't really think about a whole lot.
You don't think about that, yeah.
No. As we get into more of the sequels too, I want to bring this up before I forget it, but my friend had a theory with the shark. Yeah, he's called Bruce, but theory is the shark's a female, because how is there a new shark each time?
Oh, good point. Good point.
His theory, not mine. I take no credit.
That's not a bad theory, though. I like that.
Shout out to Joe.
Joe! When am I going to meet you, buddy? Yeah. Jaws 2.
Yeah, no, it's a good movie.
Jaws 2.
Okay sequel. It's the best of the sequels. Not a bad movie, but definitely inferior. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what happens with sequels sometimes, but
you want
worse.
to talk inferior, though.
Yeah, oh God.
So every people were okay with Jaws 2, and it's like, again, it wasn't as good as 1, but nothing. Rarely anything is, unless you're like Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
It meshes well together, though, kind of like a Halloween and Halloween 2 situation.
There you go. That's good. But hey, somebody out there still wanted to milk a little bit of Jaws, so. This is the 80s now. Movies are becoming a little bit more experimental in cinematography. I mean, any movie was like that, even way back. But one of the main things, again, was 3D.
3D, oh, the poor.
So obviously, let's take one of the scariest animal movies out there and make him 3D.
3D, oh, the poor.
So. Thus, we got our third Jaws movie, conveniently called Jaws 3D.
3D, oh, the poor.
Waiting to talk about this aspect of it.
I don't know which is cringier, doing that or saying 3D.
It's giving us a second to put our 3D glasses on.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, no, we had to put our 3D glasses on. You're right.
Yeah, here we go.
There we go. Okay. So yes, Jaws 3D is. How do I say this?
What you're doing though is more realistic than this.
Yeah. Honestly, it's true. And now, okay, so we know first of all, this is what the trailer was trying to do. It was trying to give us that this is Jaws 3, because when I first saw the trailer, it's forming the Roman numeral 3 as we see there. But then we're gonna see that it's not just 3, it's 3D. So Vince, we'll go to you first. I'm just gonna say this. What the heck is Jaws 3D? What the heck is this? Oh, look at that 3D right there. Oh, beautiful.
Star Wars. I love it.
Star Wars.
It's definitely, it came out in like this, there was a whole trend of like trying to make 3D movies again, because it makes me think of like Friday the 13th had the part 3 was in 3D. It was trying to, bring back like that 50s like craze of like everything needs to be in 3D.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, it's the start of the franchise getting a little bit more ridiculous, but.
You think?
No, I mean, I still like it. It's starting to go into like your campy fun territory, like your B movie, just stupid fun.
Just a little bit.
I will say, Jaws 3D is bad. It is not Avatar with its effects, but it is entertaining because you're gonna laugh at like the technical errors that.
Even more so than like the first two, where the shark's falling apart. Like.
I mean, I'll admit that I actually haven't seen Jaws 3D, and I don't think I want to necessarily, but I mean, I know, like there's a famous scene where you see the shark slowly approaching a glass window or a screen. Like, this is 3D, folks, and it's like, it's like a poor version of the Enterprise from the motion picture. It's moving so slowly that... it's
You gotta say though, even like the cheesy stuff like that had a lasting effect on like movies for years to come. Because like, I mean, you know, it makes me think in like the new movies, The Meg. Like The Meg literally does that with like their undersea base. It's like a shark like coming right behind the glass kind of thing.
And look what they did then, and look what they can do now. I mean, you gotta credit for trying.
They definitely had good ideas.
But like that image of the shark approaching the glass feels like someone just cut out a shark and then just like moved it.
Like it's like a South Park like paper cutout.
I mean,
and when it blows
oh
up
my god, it's so realistic.
Oh my god.
And when it blows up with a grenade. Dennis Quaid, what are you doing in this movie?
Oh, Dennis Quaid was in this. I remember seeing that.
He's Michael Brody, I believe.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like, and Michael Brody, they changed the actor for Michael Brody, which is Chief Brody's son, like, every movie, it seems like.
That's at SeaWorld.
And I was gonna say, is there an involvement at SeaWorld in this one? I think it was this one, yeah.
It's basically like Jaws, like, or, you know...
Whoever this is.
Brucette. It's
Brucette the Third or something?
Brucette the Third.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know, she enters, she breaks into SeaWorld and starts, like, eating the animals and stuff.
Because that's a great idea.
And there's dolphins, and my god, where's Telecom the whale?
What do you think? There's something back there! A shark! A shark! You Tim! Bring a boat in!
Failure number 6.
Jonah and the whale.
That's it. Tube integrity has been compromised. We've got leakage and pressure loss.
We have to seal the section or we'll lose the whole complex.
Door type doors. Hit it.
On automatic. They're all on go status. Activated. Now.
I want to see a fight between Jaws and an orca. That'd be a good battle to see.
See, why didn't they like just do that?
Like him fighting the rest of the creatures?
Yeah.
I
mean, now, you know, if someone were going into like a DVD store, now I hear I have Jaws and Jaws 2, and if someone were going into a DVD store and said, "Oh, look, a Jaws collection of all 4 movies," would you recommend buying that, or would you even just like go ahead and just buy a single version of Jaws 3D? Should anybody watch that?
Like watch this as a standalone?
What? Just watch it. Just watch Jaws 3D.
Don't watch Jaws 3D unless, you know, you want to just riff on it with your friends, or you want to.
And this is not a movie where it's like, you know, you need 3D glasses.
No, you
because
don't.
they've restored it. Actually, I don't know where to get a copy of the 3D movie. Actually, maybe it's like a special features on a DVD or something.
Bullmoose.
Maybe, yeah.
Or Amazon. Mm-hmm.
Anywhere really, but
yeah.
no, I mean, like I'm the other way around. I say like, well, kind of like the same things we were saying, but do watch Jaws 3D just because you'll have a fun time riffing on the campiness of it.
May I recommend a different 3D movie that involves a shark? Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh god.
God, that was 3D.
That was 3D. Yeah.
3D! Oh, the poor
3D!
I remember when I was
And Taylor Lautner.
Taylor Lautner?
Yeah. When I was younger, I remember I saw the third Spy Kids in 3D, and they had like the old 3D glasses and everything.
I had those too.
Yeah.
I might have a pair lying around somewhere.
I think I had like a Polar Express in 3D or something like that. But
that's an interesting one.
This is not that type of thing. You don't need 3D glasses for this. This is just like stupid and poor effects.
Yeah.
Yes.
So bottom line is, if you want to go ahead and watch Jaws 3D, go for it. Are you expecting a great movie with connection to these 2 movies?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Sure.
You know what you're getting into.
Oh yeah.
See, we're laughing. This is exactly what you'll be
it.
doing when you're watching the movie.
Here's the definite bottom line. Should this movie belong in Mystery Science Theater?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Might be expensive for them to get the rights for it for an episode, but yeah, I'd say they could do that. Definitely.
Did Riff Tracks do?
Riff Tracks probably did.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But no. So here's the thing. You think Universal? Yeah, Universal was still on board for this. You think Universal would have learned their lesson, because Jaws 3D obviously kind of didn't work in the end. But no, we had to go ahead and make one more. We had to squeeze out one more, trying to apologize for Jaws 3D.
Come on, you gotta compete with all the other studios of the '80s, and you gotta just have a whole line of sequels. You gotta compete with the slashers.
Apology not accepted.
Yeah, not accepted. So I think this is what, 87. 87 now. 1987 comes along, and we get Jaws 4.
40.
40. 40.
Jaws 40.
He's actually spitting on you now. No, Jaws 4. Jaws the Revenge. Okay, so this is the clear question now when it comes to this movie. First of all, this has an equally infamous tagline. This time it's personal. Okay, and then follows up with the question, how the heck can a shark have a personal grudge? It's a shark!
Isn't it like voodoo or something?
You know, that's what I think. So, the plot in this is that, again, we're involved with kind of Michael Brody here. He's kind of a main character, but he's teamed up with Michael Caine, and the shark comes back. What you can't see is I'm doing air quotes here, and why is this a thing? He's come back like through voodoo or something. I don't know what this is. Vince, help me, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly, like this is, I feel like out of all of them, this is the one that I've probably seen the least. Like I've seen it before, but it's been quite a while, and all I can really remember is that it was something like that you were saying, like. It wasn't actually the shark coming back, but it was like voodoo or something. Like
it takes place.
It waited all this time, and it came for him.
Waited all this time? Where? Was he filling up on SNL cast members for practice?
Sit down, will you? We'll get dinner.
I don't
It's all
want
right.
anyone in my family anywhere near the water. Never again. Never.
Oh, now where is this coming from?
Can't believe that voodoo. Sharks don't commit murder. They don't pick out a person.
It picked out Sean. It killed your father.
Dad died from a heart attack.
He died from fear. The fear of it killed him.
Ah, so it's the fear of the shark that killed him. That's interesting considering how he kicked this thing, swam around it, and blew it up twice in 2 movies. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's really insulting to his character. You're actually gonna say that he died of fear? Well, That's one hell of a delayed response, isn't it? I mean, what, was he just sitting around one day saying, holy smokes, that was dangerous.
Like
It takes place in like the Bahamas.
Yeah, either like it was like the ghost of the shark, or like I remember it was like the ghost was specifically haunting her kind of thing.
Get down from there! Mama, watch me! Get down from there! Mommy lets me! No, it's too dangerous. Don't do that! Grandma, watch me!
Come on, sweetheart.
But you always let me!
Not today. Come on, Thea.
The other kids are! Daddy, what kids are?
You hear what I said? Come inside the house right now.
I don't want to. I want
Later, right now you have to.
I didn't mean to start all of this. I feel like such a grandma.
Come on, I'll show you around.
Yeah, like Lorraine Gary's Chief Brody's Mrs. Brody, kind of coming in as a main character.
It always
again.
definitely struck me as like the oddest of of all four of them.
And it's considered one of the worst films of all time.
See,
yeah, heard that before.
It's this is one of those trends where it's like I can sadly think of at least 3 other franchises where the 4th installment has not favored well to fans, and that's Christopher Reeve's Superman. We all know how Quest for Peace turned out. Even though I like the camp in it, we all know how Batman and Robin turned out.
Yeah, that may or may not have killed the franchise for a little bit.
I give that one a tiny bit of slack. And then even though we talked about how we liked it, all of us, we all know how Kingdom of the Crystal Skull turned out for Indiana Jones too.
No, it was successful though.
It was successful,
Yeah.
but
it's a 100 times better movie than this.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least
Yeah, it
divisive
is.
out of all of them, but
you get my point here.
Yeah, I know.
absolutely.
So this kind of follows the same trend. It's like, how many more nails in the coffin can we give to Jaws?
How many more like shark teeth?
How many more
yeah,
shark teeth can we
exactly.
pluck? Yeah.
Well, I'll just say that they're just milking it at this point with this, and now they're getting, it's just money now. They should have just stopped at 1.
Or if anything, stop at 3. Yeah.
And Michael Caine, this was one of his paycheck movies.
Yeah,
his famous quote was, "I have not seen." Paraphrasing here, but I have not seen Jaws 4 and I heard it's terrible, but I've seen the house it built and it's great. and he missed the Oscars because of it, and he.
All the same. Complain. Oh, shit.
Why'd you come out here? Why'd you come out here? Why'd you bring her? Why did you bring
Mom, why did you take the boat?
It kept
Didn't
coming.
you realize what you were doing?
I had to do it. There was nothing else to do.
Mom, you shouldn't have done it.
I tried to tell you. I tried.
Hey, give me a hand here for Christ's sake. Okay. How the hell you do that, man? It wasn't easy, believe me.
Come on.
You all right, man? Oh, bloody hell.
Get us started double time.
The breath on that thing.
You are alive.
Oh, let's get out of here, Alan Brody. Oh.
When you bought her first house, what was that like for you?
Oh, that was incredible for me, for my mother to have a house. Because we lived in, we grew up in council houses,
She was worried you couldn't afford it.
What I did is, one of the worst pictures I did was a a picture. I think it was called Jaws 4.
The Revenge.
The Revenge, yeah. And I had a little part in that.
Damn thing's disappeared. He's gone.
And I was paid $1 million for 2 weeks' work. And with that money, I bought her the house. And someone said to me, I saw that Jaws 4. He said, it stinks. I said, I haven't seen it. I said, but I've seen the house it bought my mother, and it's marvelous.
Nice set.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I would be.
Granted, I mean,
He got to go
yes.
to the Razzies, though.
Yeah.
There you go. He went to
Yeah.
the Razzies. Yeah. If you were like given a choice, like, you know, gun to the head or something like that, pretend these didn't even exist even, and you were given Jaws 3D and Jaws the Revenge, which would you rather take?
3D. I want to have a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go with Jaws 3D probably. Too.
Really?
That's
Okay.
That's not a tough question.
I mean, did the shark look better in this?
I have to get a side by side. Actually, it's been a little bit, but
It's been a while, yeah, since I've seen Jaws the Revenge. Probably wouldn't like it.
I mean, I even know, like, not in the trailer necessarily, but in the credits there, they didn't even use like the big font, like puff font there. They just literally like just drew it sort of like in this really skinny font. It's like, that's not even the right logo.
That's how you know that, like you were saying, it's just a paycheck at that point. It's like they're trying to milk the franchise, and there's less like passion in it at that point.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I mean, you know, it's kind of the same question. You know, like, oh, you go into a store, there's a 4-movie collection, or there's Jaws the Revenge by itself. Would you buy it?
yeah, the completionist in me probably would buy it.
Yeah.
If I wanna have them, I know they exist. I mean, I'm not gonna ignore it. It's, you know, I'm gonna watch it still. It's not the worst thing ever. I mean, it's one of the worst movies ever made, but you know, it's still worse than that.
I agree. You know, it's with me. You know, like, you know, we take Star Trek for example. You know, it's like, yeah, we know that Star Trek V is bad, but you got to collect it anyway. And it's like, we know that Diamonds Are Forever is, well, Diamonds Are Forever, but you got to collect Bond.
Because it's forever.
It is forever.
I'll take Diamonds Are Forever though over like A View to a Kill. So.
Yeah, A View to a Kill is kind of hard to watch sometimes. Love you, Roger. Love you. Rest in peace, my friend. But anyway.
Trust me when I say it's safe to go back in the water, because anything is better than sitting in your living room and watching this piece of
Yeah, so Jaws the Revenge was ultimately the final nail in the coffin for Jaws. There have been no other movies ever produced in this franchise, and the shark, multiple times again that we've seen, has died a terrible death.
You mean you haven't seen Jaws 19?
Oh, Jaws!
Yeah.
Did you know about Jaws 19?
Exactly. Or what, it was 19, but from Back to the Future, where it's like, you know, the big. I think it's Jaws 19.
We're about like 10 years late for that. What'd that come out? 2015?
Yeah, I think it was direct.
The shark still looks fake.
Yeah, direct to DVD, man. Like it slipped right under the rug.
I think it was directed by Max Spielberg, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, funny though, in real life, when 2015 rolled around, they did a fake trailer for all the Jaws movies leading up to Jaws 19.
That's funny.
That's cool.
And then,
I might have seen that, but I don't know. That's,
it was
that's
like,
cool.
And they did with like Jaws 5, it's personal. Jaws 6, it's getting more personal. Just like all the parody taglines. Jaws 10, it is not safe to go back in the water at all. Like until 19.
Never again.
If you are the person out there who has no idea what we're talking about, Back to the Future 2, when Marty goes to the supposed 2015, where's my flying car, cough, cough.
And my hoverboard.
Absolutely.
And my hoverboard,
we kind of
too.
have it, but they're...
Marty is walking around and he walks by a movie theater where they're showing Jaws 19 directed by Max Spielberg. And so that's a nice little, you know, Easter egg or joke or whatever you want. And Marty says...
The shark still looks fake
There
because
it is.
the big hologram tries to eat him.
Jaws made you afraid to go in the water. Jaws 2 made you afraid to go back in the water. Jaws 3D was a new dimension in terror. In Jaws 4: The Revenge, it was personal. Then it was just business. Then pure pleasure. Cyber Jaws made you afraid to log on. And Robo Jaws made you afraid of robotic sharks. Then Chief Brody's grandson assembled a super team of shark hunters. Jaws 10, it was man versus shark versus all the terrors of the deep. Outer space, then a prequel, and a sequel to the prequel. And then a new era in terror began. Jaws started a family. Battled a Russian shark named Ivan Sharkovsky, took a bite out of the Big Apple, and learned about love from a mysterious stranger. Jaws 18 Origins, the mind-blowing reboot. Now, the oceans are disappearing, and to save their home, the sharks must attack. Jaws 19. This time, it's really, really personal. Coming soon.
But that's a nice little joke
So
there. I
it's
like that.
better 3D than Jaws 3D at that point, though.
Yeah, no
I think
kidding.
4D now.
Yeah,
4D, yeah.
that's beyond 4D, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously Jaws still is alive in pop culture, stuff like that. You know, like he shows up in other movies and stuff like that. But he also had another life in amusement parks. Yes. We talked about, you know, how Wallace and Gromit have an amusement park ride in England. Indiana Jones has his ride and show in Disney. But Jaws was no stranger to that as well. In Universal Studios Hollywood, there's the famous backlot tour. And it's a very famous thing, and you go through sort of and past sets and movie pieces. Like you go past the Psycho House, you see a bunch of fun cars from various different movies. You sometimes even go by a live set, something like that. But you also go over a bridge, and you go by this small, tiny little lake. And by this lake, you see a fisherman. He's kind of fishing around, and then he suddenly sinks into the water, and right next to the bridge comes Jaws, bounces a little bit across the water, and then goes away, giving you a scare. Just that. Do you think that's a little clever inclusion that Universal Studios did, or do you think it was like, this shark even looks more fake than the movies?
I mean, is this just the ride, or
This
is
is
this
just
something?
the backlot tour.
This is the backlot.
This
Oh,
is
I've
a
never.
little bit.
I didn't know that actually they had that.
Yeah.
I have to look a video up about that.
Never, I've heard of it, but I've never been on it. I think some of my family may have, but again, it's part of Universal. It's, as you know, we all agree, it's a pop culture icon.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta include it.
I mean, I've heard stories about my grandfather when he went to Universal Studios in California there. You know, the shark, everybody's screaming, and he's just,
Hey, what's up?
how's it going? Very fine. He wasn't phased at all. But, you know, Universal Studios thought, oh, well, we can build on this, because, you know, it's Jaws. Everybody loves Jaws. Sort of. And a bigger ride was made. And this ride had you jump on a boat, and your skipper is taking you around Amity Island, telling you about Chief Brody, and telling you about how the things here on Amity Island inspired a movie called Jaws. And you're traveling around, and then you see another boat sinking in the water. And then all of a sudden, here comes a fin out of the water. And I'll show a video of this. And then, oh my God, you have to run away! The skipper's firing shots at the shark! He's coming up at the boat! You hide in a boat shack. You think you're safe, but oh no, he comes right back! And you're running around, and then finally, he sets a fire like a gas station or oil rig or something like that, and the skipper gets one more shot, and you see a burned carcass float up at the water, and then you leave, and that's the end.
Does he say, "Smile, you son of a"?
No, he does not.
Oh God.
Family ride here.
Yeah, well, he never even swears in the
That's
movie.
true, yeah. And this was just called Jaws the Ride, and you know, it was famous for having just as bad malfunctions as in the movies. You know, the shark malfunctioned, the ride didn't work, although it looks like a free-moving boat, there's obviously a track underneath. The day it opened, it shut down.
A woman fell into a shark, actually.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and they thought it was part of the show, and they're like, oh, it's good, but then they realized, oh no, she's actually being eaten by the shark.
Oh no.
So,
Getting crushed by the mechanical shark a little bit there, yeah.
Joy. And then it became like a seasonal ride, and then it ultimately closed. I think there still is one open in Universal Studios Japan, of all places. But what do we think about having this big ride based on Jaws?
Oh, I think it's a good idea, honestly. people like want to experience what it's like to be in the middle of a shark attack kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Actually, it's a little sad that when we go there someday, it's not gonna be up there unless we choose to go to the the Tokyo one you said.
Yeah, something Japan, somewhere in
Japan. Yeah. No, I wish it was still available.
That's right.
Does
Not
sound,
if, when.
Does sound fun. Well, maybe that's a business idea. We reopen it.
Sure.
Yeah,
But,
we open up another little canceled amusement park.
I mean,
amusement park.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I like that idea.
But no, just again, like pop culture icon, you gotta capitalize on that because it's a big icon. It's a big piece of movies and pop culture, and so why not? Why not experience it?
Yeah. And they had that big open mouth hanging on in the queue line and stuff like that. Nobody from the movies appeared in it, not even Michael Caine. Oh my gosh. But what you were saying though, both of you, about him being a pop culture icon, Jaws himself. Now, like we've talked about before, nobody can beat spies but Bond. Nobody can beat adventuring but Indiana Jones. Nobody can beat sharks but Jaws. But there have been thousands and thousands and thousands of not only shark but marine life monster movies out there.
So many.
And they will still be made.
Like some that I know about are recently The Meg. The Meg's a big
Just
one.
came out with a sequel too.
That's right. Any connections you would say between Jaws and The Meg?
Well, The Meg, definitely. I mean, you kind of hit it right on the nail. I mean, people are always going to be afraid of going into the water and the unknown and what could be down there.
But, is the Megalodon still alive?
Oh yeah, that's the whole thing of the Trench, or no, that's the sequel. But the whole thing of the Meg, it's just he's in the Mariana Trench, what's hidden underneath, or deep in the depths. But no, we'll probably always have shark movies like that.
Yeah, Jaws versus Meg, Dylan.
Oh, that'd be the Meg would win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the
Meg's
Jaws would have
what,
much
50?
chance.
50 feet, and Jaws is only 20. So.
I think we should do another voodoo or something like that. Bring Jaws back and have a Jaws versus Meg.
I think they made a movie called Ghost Shark or Voodoo
Shark. Yeah, I was gonna say even the
but you
sci-fi.
know what I mean? Bring him back somehow.
The Sci-Fi Channel, just by themselves, Ghost Shark was one of them. They have hundreds of movies of what is it? The Sharktopus versus Mega Octopus, or there's all kinds of ridiculous ones.
I was gonna say let's talk sci-fi. Let's talk sharks. Shark. Freaking NATO.
Made 5 of those dang things.
Why is shark? What is that? Literally just its own thing, or can you see any split thing that would say, "Oh, tiny bit of Jaws I saw in there"?
Of course, there's Jaws, but I'll just say, it's one of those. Sharknado is one of those movie series you need to just see to believe.
Yeah.
Because if I tried to explain it, if any of us tried to explain it,
yeah,
you can't. Come on, chainsaws, and you got Ann Coulter as the vice president, Mark Cuban as the president.
Oh dear God!
It's way beyond even
Bismarcky.
It's way beyond even just oh, you have all your shark clones they usually do. No, it's above and beyond. It's we're making a shark clone movie. Jaws clone, but it's no, we're gonna go 100 times above.
That's yeah.
I think no, we can't discuss it.
I think
I don't want to go any further.
I think slightly more serious ones than the sci-fi kind of ripoffs. We wouldn't have movies like Anaconda or Lake Placid. We wouldn't have those without Jaws. Definitely.
Yeah, and you both had mentioned a whole list of other marine life type of movies. Quick lightning round. What are some of those movies that you guys were talking about?
Well,
there's 2, Lake Placid, and Anaconda. It's kind of slightly different, but
well, there were 2 that were made in the 70s. Piranha, by Joe Dante, and Orca, and that has Richard Harris in it.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Free Willy. That definitely counts.
No, but Piranha came out in 78? Killer Piranha's attacking people. And then there's Piranha 2, The Spawning, James Cameron's first movie, technically before he got fired. Then they remade Piranha in the 90s. It's Mila Kunis's first movie. It's terrible. And then they did Piranha 3D and Piranha 3DD. 3D, there it is. 3D! And
sorry.
Basically, Jaws gone wild, as it was described, with hot girls and they're making a porno.
Oh, fun.
Pretty much.
Oh, decon.
Yeah, decon, absolutely. Decon with sharks. It's just sharks spreading some decon gel on each other. Absolutely.
And let's talk about decon gel. Okay, Cam, can you stop right there? Because this is on my list as well. And just listen to this. That's the sound of people putting decon gel on themselves.
I love it.
No, it's chum. They're spraying chum on each other.
I can't forget SpongeBob fans, the episode Clams when they're hunting a giant clam.
Oh, sure, yeah.
They killed,
and wasn't Richard Dreyfuss in one of the piranhas?
Yes, should mention that at the beginning of Piranha 3D, there's a fisherman on a lake, and his name is Matt, played by Richard Dreyfuss.
Wow.
And he's singing "Show Me the Way to Go Home." And from behind the scenes, the character is a parody, but supposed to be, if Matt Hooper retired, and that's him in his old age, just fishing before he dies.
Okay.
And
okay.
that whole Piranha
like
3D is basically just a bunch of 80s references, B-movie cheese, blood and gore, and hot girls.
Okay.
It makes me think, though, actually, that brings up the point of, like, was there ever going to be, like, is we ever going to stop wanting, like, these copycat movies? And I'm like, I guess it's no different than, like, the 50s, where, like, everybody wants to make, like, a giant monster movie, or, I mean, whether it's, like, Toho with Godzilla, or just any of the, giant ants,
Kong.
like, anything like that.
King Kong.
Sorry to go back, and before I forget, SpongeBob, the hunting the giant clam that took Mr. Krabs' $1 millionth dollar. I just remembered a Jimmy Neutron episode. Carl's pet turtle got released into a lake, and at the beginning, it's a Jaws parody.
That's funny.
Been a little bit.
Like, see, but the
I think
point
it's a
is,
Gamera parody at that point, yeah.
And the parody, Sorry, the point is, like, look at how much Jaws has influenced culture. We were talking Stranger Things earlier. Hopper is dressed as Chief Brody.
Oh.
Did you notice his costume is the beige?
I didn't think about that.
Did not notice that.
And his Ford truck is Chief Brody's.
Wow, it's like,
But see, it lives on.
I love it.
Absolutely,
I love it. You must be on like a Nickelodeon kick because you got the update there, your recommendation of Danny Phantom. So
it's filtered. Jaws is filtered to kids shows, adult shows, movies. See,
it is. It's
like,
so true.
Anything, everyone and anything will, they take a stab at it at some point.
Oh yeah.
Well, they take a bite out of it.
They do take a bite.
Take a bite out of it. Yes. Well, I mean, again, so like the bottom line here is, we've been asking this question a lot. Should people watch Jaws, all of them, just for the experience?
I mean, I think the most important thing is for somebody to watch the first one. Like, I mean, if they're not going to watch anything else, I would want them to see like that first groundbreaking movie. But if they have the time, I'd say they should watch all of them.
Yeah, just to get the experience.
Yeah, first movie, classic, and if you're a movie buff, watch them all.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like sharks, you gotta watch them.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, I think, you should just watch them just for fun. I mean, obviously, the first and then, in parentheses, the second are kind of the prime ones. And then there's 3D and The Revenge. But, that's what happens sometimes. These movies will go downhill a little bit and milk it so dry that it's just, what the heck was that?
Dried fish.
Dried fish, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some fish jerky.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about Jaws. I mean, it's something that we all love, and it's something that we can all laugh at eventually.
Your quintessential like action horror summer movie.
Exactly.
If you're a fan of any of those, it's give it a watch.
The blockbuster. Hey everybody, did want to quickly mention you can't talk about Jaws without mentioning Jaws. Yes, from James Bond. Richard Kiel playing the henchman Jaws in The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker. Clearly there was an influence there because if you look closely, the henchman of Jaws has metal teeth. So he just has just as memorable teeth as Jaws' big shark teeth. So there's another great influence. Now back to the show. Blockbuster.
The Killer Shark movie.
The Killer Shark.
And watch the parodies. Deep Blue Sea, or the
Deep Blue Sea.
influences. Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea is another great.
That's another one.
Smart sharks. Sharks are being used to cure Alzheimer's, but they become intelligent.
That's kind of funny.
Another one of those.
Look that up.
Funny movie. Samuel L. Jackson. Come on.
That was
again.
He was in Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea and
Deep Blue.
wow, okay.
Oh, okay.
But watch the parodies. Watch Jaws. Quintessential killer shark movie. Pop culture icon. Stand the test of time. You'll love it. And watch it on July 4th. Come on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The USS Indianapolis, June the 29th, 1945. 2 torpedoes from a Japanese submarine slammed into our side. We was coming back across the Pacific from Tinian to Leyte. Damn near 1,100 men went over the side. Lifeboats was lashed down so tight for the bomb run we couldn't cut a single one adrift. There was no rafts. None. Oh, for God's sake, I can't say this. It's duller than my tax return. Who gets top billing?
Oh my God, you screwed us. Your name's higher and in the middle.
Bingo! Saints be praised! You're like a truffle pig, boy!
Boy, you are such a bad loser.
How many kids do you have?
9 so far.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
What do you think it's about?
What?
This movie.
It's about a shark. Do you really think they're going to be talking about this in 40 years?
I agree with you both.
Oh, definitely a summertime movie. Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, there's only one more thing that we can do at the end of the show here, and that's to play Who Are You? Anyway, now that we got that out of our system. Okay, so both have been on the show. Both know what's going to happen. I'm going to play you a clip. You have to tell me who it is and or what it is from. Clip, please.
How do you lose him in a bathroom with no windows? A lefty wouldn't have failed me. Don't sulk. Now I'm going to have to find new evidence myself, since you're the one who lost our only lead.
I see you finally made a friend.
I go for quality over quantity.
I have it on good assurance again that one of you definitely know who that is, you were saying, and then maybe something else. So Vince, we'll start with you. Who do you think that is?
So originally, I didn't know who it was. You know, your guess kind of like, you know, something clicked with me, and so I think I know what it is. But you know what? Just for a funny answer, we're gonna, because there's something about a mystery in there, we're gonna say it's Nancy Drew.
It's Nancy Drew.
Just for a funny answer. But really, after what you said, I think I know what it is now.
I like Nancy Drew. That's a good guess. I like that.
There you go. Before it clicked.
Okay, Nancy Drew. Dylan, who is that?
That voice is very familiar to me. That's Wednesday Addams.
Wednesday Addams.
You cannot fool me, Daniel.
Why would I ever want to do that?
I'm too intelligent for your own good. Or my own good.
Starting to scare me.
Something like an AI. It's like Skynet taking over. I'm too intelligent.
Megan.
Megan.
I haven't seen Megan yet. I've heard good things about it though.
It's definitely Megan. But okay,
it's one of my recommendations. Remember?
That was yes. So we and so was Wednesday actually in the same one I think. So we have Wednesday Addams and we have Nancy Drew. Let's see who that possibly could be.
How do you lose him in a
It's Wednesday Addams. Yes, it's Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams in the newest Wednesday series. I gotta tell you, I've always been an Addams Family fan, but this is a really good show.
I see you finally made a friend.
There we go. Yeah, we're all doing the funky dance there. Ding, 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 ding. No, anyway, it's a really good show, and if you haven't seen it out there, please go do yourself a favor. You're gonna love it. And we're going to explore some more of that and other Addams Family stuff when we do Addams Family this October.
And then I'll have to catch up with that too, because I mean, I love Addams Family, but I mean, it's kind of a sin, but I haven't seen the show yet. So I mean, hey,
Jaws, eat this, man.
If I had watched it, I would have known exactly what that was from.
That's
but,
okay.
You
That's
know.
okay. I'm going to give you 1,000 points anyway for getting the mystery there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to give you 10,000 points for saying Wednesday.
Thank you.
There you go.
10,000. I mean, I got 1,000 points for just being a joker at that point.
That's true, pretty much.
I'll do the Wednesday Addams smile.
Anyway, go for it. There we go. Okay.
That was weak.
That's better. All right, so guys, well, anyway, thank you so much for talking about Jaws.
Thank you, Daniel.
Anytime. It's always a pleasure to be on.
It's always a good time to have you guys here. And thank you to our Magic and Tech team. And thank you all for watching. My name is Daniel Soletti. This has been As the Reel Turns. That is a wrap.